Well. Look what the cat dragged in. Those of you who don't know who I am Drewski. Yes, I am an old man. I'm a very old man. Very patient old man, to put it mildly. And I'm pretty much a gullible son of a bitch because I basically blindly accepted becoming a moderator here. It all started two weeks ago. Not 2 weeks, no. It's been 7 months ago. We're going way back machine here. 7 months ago, I DM'd the gun. I asked him, hey, where are we going to meet? Because I've known these guys for 12 years, and the only one of these characters I've met in real life was one Rocky Zukar Romero at the New Japan Long Beach show. And the gun, instead of answering, he just sent me a thing back to say, hey, you want to be a moderator? It's like, what? Okay, what exactly does this entail? You told me, don't worry about it, just basically, I'm basically a bartender or a bouncer. Cool beans. Sounds like my other job. When you work graveyard shift, you're next door to the dive bar, dealing with drunks. Oh, I already got the training for it. All right, shit, why not? Let's go nuts. Flash forward to about 2 weeks ago. Everybody in the Falcon's Nest seemed to start getting podcasts because the gun, in his sobriety, has decided he wants to become Howard Stern, and he wants to have his own little serious empire made up of podcast hosts from the Falcon's Nest Podcast Dojo, for want of a better name. It's basically, put in your dues in here, and then if you're good enough, the gun will put you out to the masses to fuck with their heads. To basically say, what the... Kind of like what you did with Grayson and Emerson. Basically, just set them loose on an unsuspecting crowd, and it's basically the general reaction like, who the fuck, it was like Emilio's reactions, like, who the fuck are these guys? Yeah, that's pretty much what he's got, what he wanted to do with me, primarily. So he basically said, hey, boy, go get yourself some podcast equipment. Really? You never heard me speak in real life before. You're trusting me with a microphone in my hand in free time. I have no idea how to use it. Learn new technology on the fly, and create content for you on a $9 a week salary. What the hell? Don't get me started on a $9 a week salary. I'm still waiting on. I'm about ready to invoice Gallows. And because I'm expecting that first paycheck to, if it ever shows up, it's going to be a white envelope full of napkins. Because that's the Gallows way. That's a red Gallows. It's very outside of my comfort zone to do something like this. Believe me. Because I am what you would call an introvert. I'm a classic introvert. One of the many labels I've been given throughout my life. It's the only one that's really stuck. All the other ones is like, when your parents think you're homosexual when you're 7, you're like, no, They take you to a psychologist and they say, "Oh, your kid has sociopathic tendencies." How the hell are you supposed to grow up having that over your head like a sword of Damocles, right? Damn you, damn you, don't. It's like you're afraid to do anything because you're gullible enough to believe somebody's sticking the label somebody's stuck on you. That's gonna basically influence the rest of your life. I got to the point where it's like, oh, fuck that. I'm just gonna live my life. I don't give a fuck. Flash forward to now. And it's like, I got a roof over my head. I got friends in the business. Surprisingly, it's like if you told me about 40 years ago, yes, 40 years ago, when I was a senior in high school, I went to see WrestleMania 1 and closed circuit TV. That's when the fandom started. You told me 40 years ago that I would one day be friends with actually friends with professional wrestlers. I called you fucking insane. But yeah, it's amazing what happened. That's because the technology hadn't been invented yet. For one thing, computers were still in their infancy. It's like the AOL and NetZero, the internet discs were a thing. Gallows has like a cupboard full of them. That's what he uses to power the soundproof Wi-Fi he has, and he still to this day. Because he got a good deal on them. Because Carney. Anyway. It's at the end of the day, I'm a fan of wrestling. Don't matter where, doesn't matter the promotion. So, because there's a reason that sports endured over a couple centuries. I mean, it started late 1800s, and now we're in the 21st century. It's still got a purely American art form. Truly an American art form. And all the people that talk about, oh, it's fake, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Who was saying this shit in the 1940s? It's like Steve Allen. Look him up. The first host of the Tonight Show. He got his big break calling pro wrestling matches. And in his commentary, he was basically pulling the curtain back during the commentary. You read if you go back and listen. Today, you think people are going, no, it was back then. It was considered, oh, how dare he? Because kayfabe's strong then. And it's still strong in some certain places like Mexico, Japan. It's like New Japan we're very strong in the kayfabe. And that's one of the main reasons that one certain vice president of New Japan tends to run the other way when the Falcons nest is brought up, because he's trying to keep kayfabe. You don't want Tanahashi to know that he's running. He's part of this, even though Tana's always giving machine gun crap about shoulders. Still giving a crap about shoulders. It boggles the mind. I've seen, like most people, I've gone back and forth. I've been in and out of the fandom pretty much. I've seen, I've had seen. I was a person for some great matches. It's like an Edge and Taker TLC match from Extreme Rules. the Umaga Jeff Hardy, where Jeff jumped out, felt kind of anywhere where Jeff jumped off the production truck. That was a pre-tape. I know, kayfabe. And you know, stuff like that. It's like you'll have seen, you actually seen me in like some AEW vignettes. Believe it or not. I know it's hard. Yeah, look real hard. You know, I'm walking around the background in a couple of them, especially the ones with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus when their first matches, Jurassic Express, happened to be the bar wrestling show that I was at. You can see my pasty ass walking around in the background. There's a couple videos like that where it's like, wait a minute, what are you doing there? What are you doing there? It's like, it's like I've had like a email. My Twitter handle is scurvydog619 at twitter.com. If you've seen that, if you look around, you've seen that pop up in more than a few places. There's like AEW Unrestricted with Butcher and the Blade, where it popped up and popped the hell out of Pepper. Pepper's a great hoot. I have nothing but I will always support Pepper and always support Cherry Bomb. I've known those two since the CCW days. And even though I never went to a CCW show, it was Colt Cabana. Colt Cabana interviewed both of them, and then they did like a classic three-part TalkNShop where Pepper was driving the boys to the Canadian border, and it's a classic. They're dumping the empties out before they get into customs, and then taking a piss on the side of the road. They recorded it because they're goofy. That's how it's Gallows being Gallows. I know, shocker. Well, anyway, it's pretty mind blowing that the guys are still going into their mid 40s and then they are out of the WWE umbrella, and they're hit the ground running, which is the right thing to do. But the gun doesn't really have time to actually with all his kids, because his kids are like getting into that age where it's like the puberty is about to hit all of them. And that household's getting nuts. Even more nuts than normal. It's like, Teeny is a saint. I love Teeny. She used to follow me on Twitter for a while. Mainly to keep tabs on Chad. That's my story, and I'll stick to it. It was the same with Gallows and the first wife. We don't bring up. It's like, yeah. It's like I said again. It is mind blowing to be in this situation. It's like I never thought I'd be in this situation, and I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it immensely, and it's like this is again, this is out of my comfort zone, and I'm trying to get better at this. In the months to come, I will get better at this. Prove a lot of doubters wrong, which is the story of my life, proving people wrong. And on the weeks to come, there'll be like we talking wrestling like everybody else. Some promotions you don't really hear about that often. It's like like Emi Sakura's Choco Pro Wrestling, which is the small, along with Chris Brooks's Baka Gaijin. Those two are the smallest promotions in Japan. but they're amazing because they hit a different way than your normal wrestling. Same with DDT. It's like DDT is an acquired taste. But they have a little something for everybody, just like AEW. And AEW, I have nothing but respect for because they employ my friends, first and foremost. I can't wait for Pepper to have his back get cleared for his back surgery and get back in the road, get back in the ring with Larry, beating the fuck out of people with Butch. Andy Williams is a saint. Legit, one of the top five greatest human beings I've ever met in my life. I met him the first time at that bar wrestling show I saw Jurassic Express with, because Pepper and Cherry Bomb were there wrestling, and Andy was there, and it's like, basically you're looking up at Andy, and it's like, holy fuck, it's like he's gonna kill me. So Andy has people have the same reaction to Andy that you do to me, in a way, right? And then, but Andy's a fucking sweetheart. I'll say I will support those hoots, just like I support these hoots for the rest of my life. I'll support them more if I actually got fucking paid, Gallows, by the way. Hint, hint. No pressure or nothing. It's like, I know you got the TV coming, and all these deals and stuff. That means budget's going up, boy. That means you got to upgrade shit. You got if you're upgrading stuff, it's like, hey, come on now. So, that's for you degenerates in the Falcon's Nest. I'm sorry. Sometimes. Maybe. Perhaps. Grayson, you're welcome for the rub. In retrospect, the Steve Austin in '98 quote attributed to me. I'm your Don Callis, son. I want 10%.